All right, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I got baby koi's in here I've been raising up. They're down there. Let me see if I can get a zoom in picture of these koi's. They're about couple inches, one or two inches big. They were babies from this there you go, here's a little more of them. They're baby koi's from this summer. So they're all in here. I'm gonna move them into my main pond, which I have to also today try to clean up a little bit, try to cut these pond plants back a little bit. So it's a mess right now because everything is dying off, and I gotta clean some leaves out of the pond and cover this pond with a net so it doesn't get filled with leaves. So quite a bit of work today. And again, I got to come back here and scoop these baby koi's out here to the main pond. Just so you know, my main pond has also a lot of baby koi's in here as well. They are growing alongside their parents in here. You can see these guys are beautiful. Let me zoom in a little bit. Look at that shower. Look at that orange. Couple of nice looking koi's in here. And I sell these guys at, I sell a couple of larger ones, guys that this overgrown or and the smaller guys obviously I sell each year. Check that guy out. He was black and brown color. I think he's like one of has got like a Chugway gene in him too, so he's a little bit friendlier than most of the koi's in here. But I stopped feeding these guys the water probably in the 50s right now. It is getting colder, so but the water's crystal clear. You can see leaves on the bottom of the pond. This pond is about 4.5–5 feet deep in some areas. It's roughly 15 by 20, 22, 23 inches. I'm sorry, 22, 23 feet. And the waterfall runs off of there, right there. Yeah, all this is attached to the pond. So what I have here is, there's the intake right there. And I got plumbing running along here, comes up, I teed it off here, comes up on this, and then it goes down into this, and I have a gravel, it pumps underneath and pushes all the water up on this, and I have gravel, and I keep tropical fish inside here for the summertime as well. My angels were inside here this past summer. They did really well in here. I think anytime when you have fish outdoors, it's always better than in the tanks. They get to eat the bugs and all that stuff, plus all the other growth that's inside here that's really beneficial for them. And then it just, this thing trickles over down into this, and then there's a pipe. It flows out right here. You see that white pipe right there? It goes back into the pond, and then this cycles around. But there's a filter also, my homemade filter. The pump pushes up from the bottom, and again feeds to the gravel, comes up, and it comes down here, and it feeds up, and it circles around on this thing and flows out. This again goes back into the pond, which is into the waterfall, feeds this right here. This is big, let me zoom out a little bit. It feeds this right here. So this is my setup here. Obviously the water flows up. If it's too much, it overflows here and it comes down and it drips in there. I have UV sterilizer inside here. I bought a couple of cheap ones off of Amazon. I think they're like 20 bucks a piece. I bought like 5 of them. They're like 13 watts. And they're in there. You can see. They're just the common ones. If you want, I can provide the link for you guys. They're great, and they keep my pond crystal clear, and they're really a cost-effective way of maintaining a nice crystal clear water and killing all the bad bacteria and good bacteria too as well. It does kill both. But yeah, so all right, I'm gonna pause this video. I'll see you guys back in a bit. So what I'm doing now is actually removing this net. This net basically is keeps the leaves out, keeps the fish from jumping out, because I lost one koi in here, actually a large one, in the past, and I was like, I gotta prevent this from happening. So this net I bought from a local pond place, and yeah, and this helps. I just cut it to size, and it helps the fish from jumping out and prevents the leaves from going in there for fall. So, and I just bring this inside and obviously empty all this stuff out for the winter, and that's it. And you can see is I put screws in here, and these nets, they're just the right size, right? It catches the screws. Get this one out. Here we go. I'll set this side to dry. And it'll drip out and dry. So here it is, a bunch of algae in here. Look at that. Clean all this muck up. You can see the overflow, right? And this drains right back into the pond. Ooh, the water's cold. Scoop some of this stuff out of here with my big net. Get all these maple seeds out of here. All right, dump this out. I'll flip it over, here we go. So I'm just doing this with one hand. Scoop this up without trying to get any fish here. You see that guy? Oh, bunch of algae here. Cool. Little fish. Yeah, it's quite a bit of debris in there. Obviously, whatever, sorry for my finger, whatever drains down ends up to be in the inside here, and it just collects as well. So I'm gonna probably have to let this chill out a bit, let it settle down. What I can do is probably lower the water a bit, So for me, this is this on a swivel there that's not even glued in. So I just move this down and it'll lower the water level right there. Let's pause this video. So just letting it drain. Technically, really, I can really move this all out of the way. Oh. I'll cut that back today. You can see where it flows into the pond. Really, I can really undo this and let all the fish flow right back into the pond, which might be nice too. There's less work for me. I don't have to catch them and it's less stress. Let me, I gotta get the water to flow a little bit better here. So I have a valve inside here. Sometimes it gets clogged. Turn this to really prevent the water from flowing into this filter and pushing it back out, and it forces the water more into this filter back inside. So sometimes I lose pressure. What I do is I just turn this off and it forces that water in there, and it forces the more water out of there. So, all right. I think that should, yeah, it's running quicker now. So I put the pressure back on the main system, main filter. Come back here, you can see how much of a flow now I'm getting. It stopped flowing because I lost water pressure inside here. The water drained a couple inches below where the intake is, and it lose a lot of pressure. But yeah, I think I might do that. I might just pull that out and let this fish flow into the pond. That might be the best option and the easiest option, I think, without stressing anybody out too much. Yeah, so. Oh. Put that down for now. Look at that flow. Yeah, they'll go into the pond. I want to get it even, get this angle off. Here we go. Here we go. See that angle, 90-degree angle, got it off. So now it just should flow right in without going through the angle. Should be easier. Whew, water is getting cold out here. Let me see, let me feel the pond water actually, because I know the water hasn't. That should make it warm up this water a little bit too. Let's see. Yeah, it's just as cold. Not that far off actually, but this should acclimate it too. You see the little koi's in there? It's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, if you guys live locally on the island, give me a shout. I sell baby koi's and tropical fish. Got a lot of baby plecos, swordtails, red swordtails, black mollies, crebensis, angels, guppies. All right, I'm gonna pause this for now. So I'm just watching the angels the koi's try to swim by, and they're getting sucked in. It's a free ride. Zoom in on that, you'll see It's sucked in some of the debris, which is fine. There's plenty of crap in the pond, so every spring I go in there and clean it out. Here's a tiny one right there that's gonna be sucked in there. Oh, got away. But yeah, some of them are beautiful. The coloring on them. Eventually they'll darken. The reds will darken, the yellows will darken, and there'll be more of a contrast as they age. And these guys get pretty big. I don't bring them indoors. They're always outdoors all year round. Oh, that one almost got sucked in. I saw a few of them that were like gorgeous in here. Yeah, they're gonna be really nice. They're like orangey, dark. The patterns don't really show until they get a little older. But look at that guy. It's beautiful. And they'll darken up. Got a little bigger, good coloring on them. So now you can see probably there's a lot more of them now. You see the corralling. Try to catch some of them. To the pond, let's go. There you go. Pond. Okay. Yeah, look at all the muck now. That's all right. We got a big piece of log in here. I was trying to waterlog, and I want to put this. It's actually inside my 150, so it's a good piece. Let's stop over here for now. Yeah, that seems like a good piece. And the plecos will eat all that stuff off, all the algae and stuff like that. Eventually I have put a whole bunch of plecos in there. Maybe all the baby ones to grow up. I'm gonna use a bigger net, might be easier. I think there's a branch in here. I don't want it. Oh, sorry, it's hard to do this with one hand. Single hand. There you go. They should be a lot happier with that bigger room. Move them over here. I know it's a whole bunch of crap I'm just netting up. Yeah, they'll do better in here. So what I'm going to do is cut this flow off here for this thing and let that thing just drain out. Let all this stuff drain out of here. So let's put a valve. I don't know if I can get that. There you go. Here's a valve. Turn it off. That'll stop the flow from coming up or going into this 275 vat. And let the water just drain out of here. Eventually this flow will stop from here. Slow down and stop. Yes, I see some more fish in there. We'll get them. Clean this thing out. So what I'll do is just basically empty this thing out and get all the fish out of there. All this will remain. I'll leave that open just like the way it is. And let everything just collect in here for the winter. Clean this thing out for the winter, and it will just get really dirty in here, and then clean this thing out during the springtime and start this whole process over again. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. But this is how I just basically do this every year. Get the baby koi's out of here, move it to the big pond for the winter, and then I'll usually put a little heat donut on top of the pond and put a aerator in there with air stones, and that's it for the winter. And let them do their thing. And I gotta also put a net over this though. So, all right, enjoy. Have a great day, guys, or night. Take care. Bye-bye.